So my last, I guess, video ended with not being able to go to the restroom in the forest camping with all those the big group of trail crew. So got out of there, got on the road, and the forest that I was in camping was not far from Yosemite, and I wanted to go see Yosemite. I mean, it's one of those very well-known parks, national parks. So I went to Yosemite, absolutely mind-blowing beautiful. Saw the famous rock climbing mountain that I can't think of the name of it right offhand, but it's enormous, and the guy did a free solo where he didn't have any ropes or any equipment and climbed it in like 2.5 hours or something crazy like that. And it's like, I don't know, 3,000 feet. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on any of that, but I saw it. I also saw, the geysers and the where all that's happening. You kind of walk over these paths of this bubbling, steaming stuff. From there, as driving from spot to spot through Yosemite, you would see cars pulled over for a herd of animals that you wouldn't normally see. Most of the time, every time I pulled over to check it out, it was like a herd of deer or that type of animal. Antelope, I don't know, but they were just kind of the same, like, 20 deer galloping through the fields or whatever. So after maybe the third or fourth time, I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can pull over again to see deer again. So I was, as far as my map showed, it looked like I was pretty close to getting out of Yosemite, and there's another kind of traffic jam, if you will, of cars pulled off to the side of the road to look at an animal. And so I was like, all right, fine, I'm getting ready to leave Yosemite. I might as well get out and check it out. So I get out of my truck and I start walking down kind of where the cars are parked, and I can see people are looking. And I'm maybe like 10 or 12 feet away from my vehicle, not far. And I look down, and probably what felt like maybe 100 yards, maybe not even that far, because that's a football field. So maybe 50 yards away is a brown bear. And I don't know if any of you have seen a brown bear in person, but it's like a giant furry Volkswagen bug with huge fangs and teeth. Not that they were out and exposed while I was seeing this thing, but I know they have them. So I slowly backed up, got in my truck, turned around, and left. I didn't want any part of having a gigantic animal that close to me. So that was pretty cool. From there, I kind of kept heading east across the United States. I stopped by and saw Mount Rushmore. And that was neat. It was a lot smaller than I thought it would be. For some reason, I thought it was going to be just gigantic, maybe from all the photos and postcards or whatever I've seen in my past, but it was a lot smaller than I thought. From there, I did a little more hiking and kind of goofing off and playing around, but my kind of time frame of getting back home was getting pretty narrow. I think I was maybe 2 days away from needing to get back home. So basically from Mount Rushmore, I kind of drove straight home. I stopped going straight east in Chicago, and I stayed the night in Chicago. And then from Chicago, I drove straight down back to Louisville, Kentucky. And to recap, man, this trip, I highly recommend it to anyone and everyone that likes adventure and doing stuff that's fun. I've done this similar trip again. However, I did it with my kids. My 2 kids at the time were, maybe 11 years old and 15 going on 16. And I had a little, a minivan, a Honda Odyssey. And we drove across the United States to see the Grand Canyon and see Vegas and all that sort of stuff. We didn't go as far as California, but we did a couple other different things while we were out there. Like, for example, we went to, Santa Fe, New Mexico. We went to Vegas. We went to the Grand Canyon. But we did a few alternate things. We also stopped at a couple different interactive museums. There's one in St. Louis. There's one in Santa Fe, New Mexico. They're kind of all over, sprinkled about. And when I say interactive, it's like an art museum, but you get to touch and do and experience the situation. Hi, baby girl. And it was amazing. Maybe for a whole nother video, I will talk about all that sort of stuff. But it was one of the greatest adventures, if not the greatest adventure of my life. Highly recommend it. I would recommend doing it with someone that's just as excited about travel and that sort of stuff, because sometimes driving that many hours by yourself is a little tough. And it's also nice to tap the person next to you and go, hey man, look at that, or hey, look at that, what's happening over there? It's kind of nice to share the experience. So 10 out of 10, must do. So to end this video, like, subscribe, share, do whatever you want to do. And I have some more videos. I know. I'm wrapping it up. Settle down. We're gonna play. So talk to y'all soon. Bye.